Hey, if you're struggling with weed addiction, weed depression, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Have some compassion for yourself. I struggled with weed for decades, and it caused me so many consequences in my life, and I was so in denial about it. And clearly it was an issue, and I just kept doing it. And I would be so horrible to myself. My internal dialogue was just a beatdown, an absolute beatdown. And it was like that for years. And there was something that happened that I guess is kind of mystical. And it had more to do with compassion than a beatdown. The beatdown would just wear me down, telling myself that I was a loser, and just that constant, why are you doing this? Why? Well, it's just an addict, just a human being trying to cope with life. And in the time and place that I grew up, weed was everywhere. I mean, everyone I grew up with smoked weed before they had pubic hair. I mean, it's just the way it was. And I was a socially awkward kid, and I had this internal life that was completely different than the way I portrayed myself, and I couldn't talk to anybody about it. There was no support anywhere, and I didn't trust life or people, and I just had this internal never-ending struggle, and I would just pound myself. And then the insanity of it is I would use weed for the emotions and the feelings and the frustration that were compounded by my use of weed. I would use weed to cope with it. It was complete insanity, and there was so much denial. And but when it finally broke, it was more a feeling of compassion. There was some sort of a space that formed, and it wasn't from the beatdown. And I watched my last video about dignity and self-respect, and I thought about it. If I had been watching that when I was in the throes of my addiction and I still couldn't stop, I would have just pounded myself. And it got me thinking deeper about it. And when I actually did make a real decision, there was it was mystical. There was some sort of a power there that gave me some space from the beatdown. And it was, and there was compassion there. There was a softness to it. There wasn't just the hard bam, 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 bam. And I can be that way. And the reason I am that way is I'm trying to wake people up. I'm trying to cut through the narrative that's everywhere. I mean, try to find some support from people who smoke weed about not smoking weed. Good luck. It's not there. It's not. And going back there, going there for support, it just makes you feel worse. And then you need more weed to deal with that. It's a cycle. And have some compassion for yourself. Have some compassion. Find a little softness. And I'll keep working on my message because I really do want to help you. I want to help you. I know what it was like for me, and I was stuck in it for so long. And I want to see people break free from that cycle earlier than I did. And once there is that compassion and that space and a real decision, and a willingness to be uncomfortable for a little while. Weed trains you for instant gratification. I want to feel better now. And once I had that space, there was like this willingness to kind of face things and to be uncomfortable and to look at myself honestly and to speak honestly. And that's where the recovery is. That's where the freedom is when you start looking at yourself honestly. And it's hard to look at yourself honestly when you're being mean to yourself, when you're just beating yourself up. So stop beating up on my friend. Have some compassion. And there is a way out. There is. Much love. That's what I got. Peace. If you found any value in this video, please like and subscribe. If you would like my help in quitting, I am working one-on-one with people now. You can click the link below to fill out an application. Right on. Peace. That's what I got. Much love. Yeah.